Patrick wastes hours doing push-ups every day and watching endless fat loss videos, trying to get rid of his man boobs. He hates the way they poke through his shirt, and people make fun of him for having man boobs bigger than most women his age. Patrick is embarrassed, ashamed, and barely wants to leave the house, but he knows he needs to change. I've been in Patrick's shoes, and trust me when I say it is a horrible place to be. And if you can relate to me, or Patrick, I'm going to show you exactly what I did to shrink my man boobs, and by the end of this video, you are actually going to feel comfortable taking your shirt off, even if it just is in the comfort of your own home or your back garden on a hot summer's day. But the first mystery that we need to solve is why you have the man boobs in the first place. And for the majority of you, for what it was for my case, is that you've just spent far too long in a calorie surplus, consuming way too many calories over an extended period of time, and that has been stored as excess body fat in our chest. Now, for some of you, on the off chance, you may actually have what's called gynecomastia, which is kind of like the real man boobs. And that's mainly due to a hormone imbalance between your estrogen and your testosterone. If that is you, I highly recommend you go and you get that checked by a doctor. But do not worry, because even if you do have the proper the gynecomastia, everything in this video is still going to help reduce the overall size of your man boobs on your chest. So you're still in good hands. Now, before I get into this, I do want to give you a disclaimer and say that this is going to be the quickest and the simplest way to reduce the overall size of your man boobs. It's going to be a sustainable calorie deficit that is going to help remove the body fat, okay, in the surrounding area. But before we start binge watching Jeff Nippard and spamming chest press exercises, I need you to know one thing, and that is that we cannot spot reduce fat. The fat will come off where it chooses to come off from. That is completely and entirely genetic. So I'm clear, there is no spot reducing. And before you go and drastically start slashing your calories left, right, and center, here's some things that you can do that are going to make your calorie deficit actually last for a substantial amount of time. First of all, start slow. Find your maintenance calories, use a calorie calculating app, or the method that I outlined in my mentorship. Top link is going to be in the pinned comment for that. But whatever that number is from your maintenance calories, subtract 200 to 250 or even 500 depending on your experience. And to aid with that calorie burn, okay, make sure that you're walking bare minimum 8 to 10,000 steps a day, and if you can handle it, and only if, you throw in 1 to 2 cardio sessions that are maybe around 10 to 15 minutes, maybe half an hour. Your best bet for this, in my opinion, is going to be incline walking. Like I said, only do the cardio if you can manage it. I only did 1 cardio session, and that was towards the later end of my fat loss journey. Now, what about when it comes to the gym? Well, this is where we're going to get very controversial, and me, as always, are going to be going against the common advice that is spread by probably the majority of people in the fitness space or people that have suffered gynecomastia. Now, some people are going to be saying that you should not weight train and just focus on lowering your body fat. I agree with 50% of that methodology. Here's the part that I disagree with. If you do not build muscle, okay, underneath the layer of fat, what's going to happen is if you just completely ignore your chest while you're training, or worse, you don't even train at all, you're going to become skinny fat, and you're just going to look like this weird mess of a human, but you literally look like an alien. You look like a green alien from the cartoons. Is that what you want to look like? I didn't think so, okay? That is not the look we are going for. So we are going to train our chest as well as every other part of our body. Now, but the others are correct, is that yes, if you have man boobs, this is going to kind of accentuate the size of them, because if you're building muscle underneath your chest, we are going to have that increased size. However, this is my counter argument to that. Remember, if you're doing everything that you're supposed to and you are going on this fat loss journey and you're taking the advice that I'm telling you through this camera right now, yes, that excess bulk is going to be there, but remember, it's going to be temporary because we're burning the fat underneath. And if you are severely overweight, then a process can occur where you are burning fat and you're building muscle at the same time. So the focus here should really be sculpting our body, okay, for when we lose the body fat, therefore that we have that shape, that nice aesthetic build, and we are not looking skinny fat. We don't look like Mike Wazowski or Green Alien. Put it this way, you take a tiny hit now, but you reap the rewards later. If you ask anybody who's gone down the route of not training their chest because they've had man boobs, I can guarantee you 9 times out of 10, they're going to say they wish they trained them. Because if not, once you lose the fat, you're not going to have anything but there apart from the skin. And they're going to become very loose and very flabby. And at that point, my friend, you might need to start considering wearing a bra. I still have a little bit of man boob, but it's not as bad as it was because I built the muscle underneath and then I lost the fat. But there is an underrated method that hasn't been discussed in any of the videos that I've seen online while I was researching this topic for you guys, because, you know, I want to come correct, of course. And this shit is really underrated, okay? So listen carefully. The best way, okay, to hide your man boobs, okay, to make them appear smaller is by getting bigger overall. No, I don't mean fat, I don't mean eat more, I mean just working on building an aesthetic physique. Now, is getting muscly everywhere else gonna magically shrink your man boobs? No, but it takes less attention and focus from them. If you have a little bit of man boobism, like me, that's what we're calling it now, but you have some nice broad shoulders, okay, you have the biceps, you have the triceps, you got a little bit of ab action going on. It's still there. The man boob is still there. It's still in frame, but it's not as apparent, or it's not as severe, okay, compared to if I didn't have any of that muscle there in the first place. If I didn't, when I was skinny fat, it is glaring. It is painfully obvious, you know, with my man boob situation. So make sure that you're prioritizing progressively overloading in the gym so you can build that physique that works around your man boobs. Now, let me break it down like this, because lifting weights and getting an aesthetic physique is arguably one of the most important parts of your weight loss journey, because if you neglect it, you're going to end up looking worse than when you originally started. So if you do want 3 workout plans that I use and that my clients are using, and diet plans that they're also using as well, then you can click the top link in the pinned comment. That is going to take you to my mentorship. It's fairly new, there's only a couple people in there, so definitely going to want to be the first. And once more people join, we're going to have live lectures coming, so I'm super excited about that. So if you're serious, I'm going to see you inside, but if not, I will catch you in this video.